Alright. Also, ignore the video. There is a 15-second delay. Just an FYI.
Okay.
Oh, you want to get rid of you made a menu. Get rid of the menu so we can read the chat. Well, we can also read it from here, too.
You may not need my iPad, actually.
No, we can just read it from there. I mean, I got good vision. We will wait and see for more people to show up.
And by more people, you mean anybody?
Yes. I tweeted.
Somebody already retweeted.
It was Twitch community.
Hey, KR Decade.
Hi.
Hello.
Sorry, we're all looking like at our phones and stuff. It's riveting.
Riveting conversation. Let us know how we sound. We're a little farther away from the mic than usual.
Yeah.
Oh, you're getting visual aids up?
Yep.
That makes sense. So when we're talking about Seven Deadly Sins, the blonde one. The tall, skinny one.
The man with the mustache and hilariously disproportionate proportions.
Yeah, that's Escanor.
Yeah. Hi, C-Dub.
Hey, C-Dub.
Hi, this black guy 671. Who are? Oh my God. Hi, people.
We don't know who any of you
We
are.
got new people.
Hi.
Hello.
Excellent.
Welcome.
Welcome to our second discussion stream.
Welcome to our channel. If
Hello.
you're new here.
I'm only stopping by to say hello. Sorry, I have got to leave. All
That's
right.
fine.
We
Thanks for
understand.
stopping by.
You just don't love us. I'm kidding. Kidding.
If you're new here and you like what you see,
Follow us.
follow us.
We're going to be talking about movies.
Yes, and if you
My
follow
favorite thing.
and if you follow TokuCast or something, and we should know you, please tell us. And if you hear chomping, it's the dogs.
Yeah, we have
Yes,
dogs.
there are 2 dogs.
Hi, Bluey.
Hey, Bluey.
See, finally another black guy.
No, not Ruby. Get down.
Let us know if you have
That's
any trouble
Ruby.
hearing or anything.
So for the new people, I don't know if you've seen our tweets or anything. We're going to be discussing 3 movies. Aquaman. Then we're going to do the Seven Deadly Sins movie that came on Netflix. I forgot what it was called.
Prisoners of the Sky.
Prisoners of the Sky. Spoiler alert, we're the actual prisoners who have to watch this movie. And the third one is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yep. And if you like watching us tonight and you want to kind of know what we're going to be discussing in future streams, follow us on Twitter, and all of our links are down below.
Yes. And we also do gaming streams as well. You try to do one once a week, typically in whatever the hell we feel like.
Yeah.
So, is it 7 o'clock?
I've only seen 1 out of 3.
That's fine.
And we are doing spoiler discussions.
Yes.
Yes.
Spoilers.
Yeah, we never do spoiler free.
C-Dub, it's our favorite people. Matt, Sam, and tired of losing. Aww, Jacob.
Yeah.
Oof. Wait, Callum, why'd you say oof?
Maybe to what I said about the
About the Prisoner's Sky.
All right, we are lagging a bit. That might be the bit rate.
Are we lagging?
Yeah, I
or
saw.
is it the delay?
No, I saw a bit of lag.
Oh.
But it might be the bit rate dropping.
Maybe.
I can check the inspector real quick if you want.
Yeah, go ahead and do that. Just to
One
make sure
sec.
we're still...
We're still stable. Well, this hasn't updated at all. You're going to get a lot on my hand right now. I apologize.
Oh, God. That means Ruby gets to come in.
Oh, no. Why is she here?
No, it's...
There we go. Yeah, we had a drop.
Oh, yeah, okay. But we're still good right now.
Yeah, we went down to 135. Jeez. All right. Sorry about that.
No to what C-Dub said. Oh, all right.
Excuse it. That's our spoiled dog, Ruby.
Okay.
All right. So, let's get the discussion underway.
Lay down.
Aquaman with Jason Momoa, 2018, almost in 2017. God
Not
dang.
quite.
Justice League of 2017.
I am 2 years off. So, how do we feel about Aquaman?
Yes, everyone tell us how you feel about Aquaman, and we will discuss our feelings
As
now.
So, I really like this movie.
I love this movie.
This movie was
I
fantastic.
absolutely love this movie.
This movie was fantastic.
Matt and I saw it on Christmas Day.
I saw this movie a week early.
Yeah,
For a
for
Disney-
Amazon
because
Prime.
of the Amazon Prime screening.
For a DCEU movie, it was actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
He doesn't know you. We are big DCEU people.
No, I mean that's. I thought you were saying that.
Yeah. No, I'm reading
This
it.
movie is pretty much 90s Aquaman.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
But no, this is a fantastic movie. Yeah. Also,
it's Fishman.
I thought this movie was fantastic. No, it did not overuse the one-liners. They were very natural. I feel like Arthur Curry's character was a little more rounded out as opposed to the Aqua Bro we got in Justice League.
He was still that same character, I thought.
Just not.
Yeah.
He
was that same character. He was just more fleshed out.
That's what I mean. He didn't say "my man" like 17 times.
Well, he only said it once in Justice League, so.
I love the song Africa, so having a
Newish remix of
Oh
of
god,
it
I hated that.
put this movie way up higher on my like list.
That was one thing about the movie I hated was that stupid song.
Go lay down, Lincoln. Go lay down.
Well, it made them like it more.
I mean, that's nothing
Good
wrong.
for you.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
No, not at all.
I feel differently.
I'm also glad that while
I will say this: its appearance was brief, so that was something.
I'm also glad that even though this is a superhero movie with multiple villains, and that usually seems to be like a death curse for some superhero movies, it worked better. It worked out really well.
It's all about execution.
Yeah.
When people say this movie sucked because it had too many characters, it's just because they weren't used well.
Yep.
And these were.
Yes.
Exactly.
So I love. Also, was it me or did they kind of hint at Black Manta being an Atlantean?
No.
See, I kind of felt like they were dropping some subtle hints, like with his grandfather, like he was, and how well he worked when they called him the Manta because of how silent and fast he swam, things like that. Also, when I was watching this with my sister, and when he hit his head on the rock and fell in the water, she literally went to me and went, "Okay, explain to me how he lives through that." I went, "One."
It's a movie.
I went, "One, comic book movie, and 2, in the comics he's Atlantean." So, and she went,
I don't think he is in the comics.
He is in Young Justice.
Well, this isn't Young Justice.
Well, Young Justice is based on the comics.
Also, it doesn't matter what's in the comics. This is the movie.
True.
That's very true. Very true.
I'm just saying. It could be something that could be explored of his possible Atlantean. Because the new Aqualad is the son of Black Manta.
His son is
I've
half
seen Young
Atlantean.
Justice, but that's not what this is.
Well, no, that is a thing in the comics. Like, not Young Justice. I'm just saying.
I know you're just saying,
His
but I'm
son
also
is
just
half
saying
Atlantean
this isn't
in the comics.
Yeah, so, and the Atlantean is him. But they could change it to making it the mother. I thought Black Manta was so underused. Kind of got Spider-Man 3 feels from that.
Like, too many villains with one getting the shit into the stick.
But you also gotta remember
disagree.
he wasn't the villain of the story yet. He is coming back. This was about Aquaman fighting Ocean Master and becoming the King of Atlantis. Lincoln, you need to lay down. But I thought he was used well. I would like to have seen more of him.
I thought it was used appropriately.
Yeah, because he was still technically a mercenary.
Every scene he was in, he was great. So
Ocean Master was a good villain. Yes, he was.
Oh my god, he was fantastic.
He was fantastic. Oh god, all the villains were good. All the characters.
But Patrick Wilson, James Wan's Lucky Charm. Because this is the 5th movie they've worked on together.
Really?
Conjuring 1 and 2, Insidious 1 and 2, and now this.
Wow.
I also heard this is the first DC movie to break $1 billion.
Nope.
Really?
It is the 3rd.
So it's since the Dark Knight trilogy is what I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was. Let me finish the thought.
You just said DC movie.
You did kind of pause.
I said, well, I was breathing. I was gonna say DC movie sent to break $1 billion since the Dark Knight trilogy, which is kind of a sad thought, but I think it's well deserved.
I don't know that it's a sad thought, but I will say this. 1.063 billion. That's what we're at right now after this weekend's estimates. If this keeps up, this movie's going to pass Dark Knight Rises.
Cool.
Dark Knight Rises is 1.084. That's the highest grossing DC movie to date.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Dark Knight is still not the...
Dark Knight is the lowest grossing member of the $1 billion club.
But it's still a member of the $1 billion club at least.
Yeah. But also, that's like the bar. It's like 1.004 billion, I think, is what Dark Knight is.
I could understand his motivation, like his home is getting destroyed. Ocean Master.
Yeah.
I really liked the mentor character. I forget the actor's name, but I really liked him.
Oh!
Volko,
played by
Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
So great.
He was so great.
Guys, simmer down.
Yeah, and I love how I don't even remember ever seeing him in a trailer. So I saw him on a poster like 2 weeks before the movie came out. I'm like, he's in this movie.
He was in a couple of the trailers.
I also just love the fact that he was in like the older Spider-Man movies.
This isn't the first time that's happened. Yeah.
This is not the first actor who's been in different.
No, it's just funny.
Yeah, and
seeing him portray a different role in the same kind of like.
In a comic book.
Comic book movie. But completely different. He's not,
Yes, Green Goblin. I know his name, I just didn't say it. Hi, Layla!
Hey, Layla!
Hello.
I never saw the trailers, so seeing him is dope as fuck. Yeah.
Sorry, that was a toy being dropped.
Dogs!
Oh, God.
Layla said hi, Jacob.
Hello.
I still remember watching this trailer at Comic-Con and just screaming, Color! They remembered Color.
Yeah.
Literally is what I screamed.
Like
this movie, I believe, is what's going to set the tone of the DCU going forward.
No, ma'am.
I think so.
No, ma'am.
Because even if this movie had flopped and it only made like $200 million worldwide, it wouldn't have changed anything because
this is the tone.
We're not tone, so to speak, but business strategy. Because DC at this up to this point has been extremely reactionary.
Yeah.
True.
You cannot build a cinematic universe if you're going to just react to everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad. It's really bad for business. It shows in their movies as much as I love some of them. But now that we have Walter Hamada in charge he's the head of DC Films now. Mm-hmm. He seems to really have a plan going forward, and this is like the first taste we've gotten of it. And I love it.
After this movie, I think the only way is up for the DCEU.
This is easily a win. I mean, it's a win for them. For one, it made $1 billion. For two, it was mostly liked by critics. It's got an A- on Cinema Score, so audiences liked it too. So yeah, this
Shazam
Wonder Woman. If Shazam
follows suit,
Shazam does not need to make $1 billion. If Shazam makes $600 million or $500 million, we're golden.
Oh, yeah. And Shazam looks like it's gonna be good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because
they released a new teaser.
They did
today.
perfect casting for that. It just like everything about.
I was actually very skeptical about the casting for Shazam when I first heard.
You were skeptical about Zachary Levi?
Yeah, mainly just because I'm of his physique, but
no, but he got
swole. I was gonna say. You could say the same thing for Chris Pratt and Star-Lord.
You could say the same thing about any.
He was a chunky guy at first, and then he got.
I wasn't familiar with Chris Pratt at all before. I didn't watch Parks and Rec.
I'm just using that as an example.
Yeah. Wonder Woman 2 really needs to be better. The first one was great till the end, in my opinion.
I disagree. I thought the end was fine.
Yeah.
I will agree to a degree, but we're not discussing that movie.
Yeah.
I also know that a lot of people also feel the same way that you do. A lot of people thought that end with Ares. They thought the reveal of him was really disappointing.
Because it's the sassy British guy. But yeah, I
wasn't gonna go that route, but.
And yeah, I know they use padding for his suit, which helps. But I think that was also a purposeful move to make the muscles look a little too perfect.
Yeah. Like the full-on Superman
also, most of them use padding in some
way,
so
go lay down.
Not all of them are ripped as fuck.
There is a reason.
Not all of them are fucking.
Does it look cheesy? Yes, but that's not a bad thing. There's a reason Shazam is called the Big Red Cheese.
It's also not all of them are Aquaman, where he's just shirtless most of the time.
He's just shirtless.
It's not Jason Momoa.
When you're Jason Momoa and you're that ripped.
Yeah.
Doing the fucking, what was it, the Haka or something?
The Haka, yeah.
Alright, let's bring up the fact that, like, also, a lot of people did not care for this movie.
There are some people
who
have issues.
Strong opinions.
Yeah, but that's every movie.
Yeah. But I think we have a general census in the chat and on this couch. It worked. It made Aquaman cool again.
It did. It absolutely made him
I
cool
thought
again.
it was always cool, but...
But I meant in
but a lot
in
of
the
people
public
didn't.
But in the,
Yeah.
in the public, yeah, absolutely. Because Aquaman, for a very long time, when people thought of Aquaman, all they thought of was Super Friends.
Yeah.
The guy who talks to fish.
Yeah.
And then along comes, you cast a guy like Jason Momoa in the role. And, real big guy, got the long hair. No, he's not blonde.
And everyone's like, what the fuck?
And everyone's like, okay.
And then he did it, and it's amazing.
And
it's
then
like,
they did
yes.
it, and he's... Can we talk about how insanely good Jason Momoa is in this movie?
Yes.
He might be one of the most charismatic actors walking the face of the earth right now.
Yup.
He's such a likable dude.
Honestly, I think having him being cast as Aquaman is was probably one of like the standout things about this movie, like just the casting.
No, yeah, the casting.
Fucking...
Well, the casting for this whole movie was perfect.
Yeah.
Like, Aquaman, Ocean Master, Black Manta was great.
Mm-hmm.
The dad was great. Though I still, when we were watching the movie, because we watched it with my sister and my sister-in-law, and who plays his mother again?
Nicole Kidman.
Nicole Kidman. Yeah, when she is quote unquote, dead, she really leaned over going, "That's a small part for someone like Nicole Kidman," and I'm like, "Oh, ye of little faith. This is
Don't worry, she'll come back."
This is a comic book movie. No one's really dead.
It also wasn't the first. It's also, but even if that was the only time she was on screen, wouldn't be the first time something like that's happened.
Like that scene in the bar when they took the pictures that just works with Jason.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That was
all
a fun
of that
scene.
works with
that was
fucking
a fun
Jason
scene.
Momoa. Like I could not imagine them doing that exact movie with
anybody else
with a white blonde, just like generic looking.
No,
that was just a funny scene.
Yeah. Expectation subversion. But I also I like how they knew that they had to establish a timeline in terms of Justice League. They gave it one line,
which I thought was fine. Because that's one of the problems with shared cinematic universes.
When does this take place?
Not just when does this take place, but why doesn't this person show up? Why didn't this person help out? Where was this when this happened? And in this one, we get the one line. Okay, it's set after Justice League, but focus on him now.
Patty, why'd you call everyone homosexuals? That's just rude.
Patty, no.
Aquaman in the comics is fucking strong. He could take point blank gunfire, and he is crazy strong. Yeah, but the generic public doesn't know that.
Yeah, the general movie-going audience, or even people
they're
who
like,
don't really go to the
Aquaman's
movies,
a
they don't know
loser.
That.
But we got that. He got shot, and he's like, all right, next. And then he got the grenade launcher to the fucking
chest.
Like,
oh,
and he was like, and he got up and just went, ow.
Number 1, rude. Number 2, I'm gonna kill you.
Permission to come aboard. What was it?
Yeah.
Permission to come aboard.
And every girl is just like, yup.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
You can do whatever the fuck you want.
You know, there's some guys in the audience too who are like, yeah, okay.
As soon as that line got uttered,
I'm
first
glad
thing
that was really early.
Well, the first thing that popped into my head was that girl who broke her retainer watching Black Panther when Michael B. Jordan took his shirt off and she snapped her retainer by chomping down so hard.
Okay.
That's what it made me think of. I was like, oh no, there's gonna be another girl who breaks her fucking retainer.
Or just makes the seat stained.
Or makes the seat stained.
That's one possibility, I suppose.
Yeah. But there was so many great lines in this movie. I was so glad this movie did. Like, it's one of those movies where I just, I'm waiting when it's starting, I'm just doing this. Please don't suck. Please don't suck.
Which, bless you.
Please don't suck.
Which
Please
I think the cool thing is, I kind of feel like Jason Momoa being who he...
Bless you.
Jesus. Being who he is, it feels like, yeah, it's an Aquaman movie, but they made it his Aquaman movie.
The joke in the movie theater did not land well, at least where I live.
No one left.
What, the permission to come aboard? It wasn't.
Yeah, where the fuck do you live?
Also, that's not a joke. If that's what you're referring to.
I mean, it's an
innuendo.
Not really.
Kind of.
In the context of the movie.
In the context of him saying it, no.
Well, no, but.
That's their fault.
Yeah.
I still thought, and there were still really good lines in this movie. Something Trident. I don't care that was in the trailer. Still made me laugh.
Yep.
Oh god, what else is there to talk about? The choreography was fantastic.
The fight choreography.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was great. I thought the art direction and just the look of the whole movie.
That whole
absolutely
just like
phenomenal.
world looked amazing.
Atlantis looked absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the cinematography and choreography of the entire scene where Black Manta actually shows up as Black Manta?
Oh yeah.
And that one long take with the running and then...
James Wan really knows how to shoot an action scene.
Yeah.
Lots of long takes, lots of wide shots. There's no quick cuts. It looks beautiful.
I thought the whole bit on the plane was quite funny. Redheads! What can you do? Jumps off the plane.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
And then just screaming,
Also a fun little cameo there. The pilot, that was Lee Wannell, who co-wrote Saw.
Oh,
with
wow.
James Wan,
Really?
yeah. Yep.
Mira was great. I loved her.
We're talking about Aquaman, the new Aquaman.
Oh, I just got...
Welcome. We're talking about the new Aquaman.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, talk about Mira.
Mira was really good. I'm glad she seems a bit different to the Mira we were introduced to in Justice League to a degree. Because before she was like, you know, your mother wanted this and you should do this. And then she's like, I want nothing to do with you if I can avoid it. But we kind of, I don't know.
I didn't get that.
No, that's fair. To each their own. But she was more likable in this movie.
Amber Heard. It Amber Heard who played Mira? Yeah.
Stunning, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
I heard there was a...
I don't know who that is.
Song in the movie, no idea. And now I listened to some... Okay.
Yeah.
The Sigur Rós song in the beginning. I heard those first... It's the song that plays during the montage of Aquaman's parents getting to know each other.
Okay.
It's that song. That's
okay.
It's the song is called. I think it's Icelandic. It's Siglaplur. I think is how you say it. It means like sea. I think it means like sea or ocean in Icelandic. Sigur Rós is the name of the band, and I heard those first couple of notes on the piano, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, are they gonna play this song?" And then they did. I was like, "Ah!" Because I really love that song, and hearing that coming out of movie speakers in an Aquaman movie, awesome, awesome. I loved it so much.
That's awesome.
Oh god, they were all just. It was so good. I want to watch it again.
I want to talk about everyone else in the cast and just how amazing they were.
Oh yeah.
And one of my favorite cast cameos, if you will. This movie opens the same week as Mary Poppins Returns. Mm-hmm. We get a cameo in the movie. The voice of the Carathan, the giant monster, is Julie Andrews.
Yeah.
The original Mary Poppins. I think that's great, and I thought she was great as the big monster.
Oh, no, yeah.
And that final battle, I was on the edge of my seat, just like, oh my god! Just like the entire time, I'm just giggling like a schoolgirl through this whole movie.
I went to work the next day, because it was on Christmas Day. Yeah. And I told my friend, I saw Aquaman, he goes, how was it? And I went, 2 words. Laser sharks. And he went, I'm gonna
sharks.
I have to go see that movie.
Laser sharks and mosasaurs and giant crab monsters and giant sea monsters. And one of the things I really wanted to see going into this movie was some sort of sea monster. I was like, it's James Wan. This guy has his roots in horror. I want to see him bring a little bit of that horror touch to Aquaman if he can.
And God, did he.
Oh my God, did he deliver the trench.
Yep.
The trench
was amazing.
And that whole scene with the trench and when they're going through it to get to the center of the earth, if you will. But I love the scene afterwards where they get through and they come up and there's like dinosaurs there.
Yeah.
I remember I said to myself, this movie officially has everything now. This is the greatest movie ever made.
Lincoln, I know. Sorry, he doesn't see Jacob very often.
No, he doesn't.
So he's very excited.
Now you gotta go lay down.
I love the bit, just the shot when they dive through the trench and like the cone of the
yeah, that was great.
With the flare, and though my sister was like, yeah, because that's how flares work, and her wife had to go like, no, there are flares that do that, honey. We'll still light underwater. It's a thing. Also, it's a movie. Shut up.
Yeah. Also, shut up.
But I remember when they got through and the mom showed up again. Mm-hmm. Spoiler alert.
I wasn't expecting it.
No, it was to them. And I knew what was coming. They're like, you have to get the tridents in there, and I'm like, oh, I know it's coming. I have to pee so bad. Nope, holding it.
Yeah.
I want to see that money shot of him walking out of the waterfall with the trident in the costume. I needed that money shot.
I also love how he got the trident.
He didn't fight anything.
He almost did, but then it was like he used it. It's like he talks to her, and he's like, "Wait a minute, you can hear me?"
Yeah.
Well, this is new.
It was like, of course, that was. I'm glad they circled back around with that.
Mm-hmm.
So you can talk to fish. I like how they made that because no one else could. I like how that was like a thing that was just him.
Yeah.
So he's not just any Atlantean. He's
special.
He is the son of the queen.
He's special.
He's special. Well, so is Ocean Master. I don't think he can talk to fish.
Well, he's the true son of the queen.
He's firstborn. I think
he's
like,
the one with his title, with his name on the poster.
Khal Drogo, the man who was afraid to cross the sea, is now the king of it.
I love Aquaman's suit.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That I didn't think they would be able to make the orange and green work, but God did that.
Here's why it was able to work. I'm gonna say this for like all the costumes in the movie, especially Orm's, where he has the bright purple and silver one. The reason I think that was able to work is because they committed to it so hard throughout the movie.
Yeah.
One of the things that this movie succeeds in so well is they commit 100% to making it as crazy, bonkers, balls to the wall fantasy as they possibly could.
Yeah. Because if
And
you
it was
hold back
wonderful.
with that, it wouldn't be the same.
Not to say you couldn't do it, you could, adapt it, restrain it, do whatever you will, but because I think it fits so well with the tone that they were setting up from the beginning with this thing, it works so well.
It worked. Oh God, it's such a good suit. And I love how, I believe, like, there was one thing, like in the trailer when they talk and they're underwater, people were complaining that it was too clear. It doesn't sound like they're underwater, but they did adjust to that. So there was a bit of distortion to it.
Well, a lot of people were worried after Justice League that they were going to use air bubbles.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's the only time you hear anyone talk underwater is when Mira makes that bubble underwater and they talk.
Yeah, but you also have to
which I think was in the movie was just a way to give them some privacy.
Yeah.
And to kind of just establish, this is Mira, by the way. Aquakinesis.
Yeah.
But I'm very much looking forward to what they do with the future of Aquaman.
They've already greenlit the sequel, I believe. So
No, what a shock!
What?
But there's really not much else to say about this movie other than if you haven't seen it, you've made a terrible mistake.
You should see it. You should definitely see it.
I would absolutely recommend this movie.
This is one of the only I don't want to say one of the only DCEU movies I would recommend, but it is the one it's my favorite DCEU movie so far.
Oh really? This is your favorite?
Yeah. Honestly, I think it was my favorite.
Okay, so here's something I want to do with you. How would you rank them thus far?
Ooh.
Oh God, I did this at work and I forgot the order because I was talking to a friend of mine who was also in the DCEU. It was fuck.
It was fun.
And in the chat, please,
Well,
I want to hear your rankings.
It's a different list of my personal favorite versus what I think is the best DCEU movies, like more from a less biased standpoint. Yeah. Aquaman is at the top, then Justice League, because I'm a
Really? You got Justice League at 2, okay.
favorite, Flash, bias.
Okay.
Don't let me show them all my figures and shit.
Yeah.
Just then Wonder Woman was good, Suicide Squad, BVS, Man of Steel. Am I missing one?
That's all of them.
Yeah, Man of Steel is at the bottom for me, but just by comparison, it's not that I didn't like the movie. It's just that compared to the rest of them, it's at the bottom. And honestly, Suicide Squad and Wonder Woman are interchangeable depending on my mood.
Okay, for me, BVS is still at the top. Then it's Man of Steel. It's like a tie between Wonder Woman and Aquaman for me.
I can see that.
I loved both movies. I want to give the slight edge to Aquaman because it had better villains.
Yeah.
Okay.
Aquaman, I think, like Wonder Woman, I mean, great story, great cast, so many things about that movie. I love that movie to pieces. But Aquaman, I want to give by the width of a nipple hair, I'll give 3 to Aquaman. Then Wonder Woman, then Justice League, and then Suicide Squad is number 6 for me.
Okay.
And Patty, to answer your question, in terms of Flash merch, I have 2 figures, 3 shirts, 1 jacket, and a pop socket.
Yes, he does.
Ta-da. But God, I think that's really all we can say.
BVS is the worst in my opinion.
And you're welcome to have that opinion.
That's a subjectivity of film. You didn't like it?
And I can't make the list because I haven't seen two of them.
Man of Steel and BVS.
Well,
Yes.
of the ones you have seen, which is your favorite?
Oh, probably Aquaman.
Okay.
And then probably Wonder Woman. And then
You really like Suicide Squad.
I really like Suicide Squad, so probably then Suicide Squad, and then what was the other one?
Justice League.
And then Justice League, yeah.
That's fair. I'm actually getting a life-size model
For the Flash suit, a friend of is making it for me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh God! If you could send me pictures of that, either on the TokuCast Instagram or Twitter, that'd be great. And I love him so much for it. I think that's really all we can really discuss on Aquaman. We kind of covered our bases there. I think it's time to move on to our fucking next movie. Fuck. All right. So, for anybody who's new here, we discuss anime as well.
Yes.
We are about to discuss the anime movie Seven Deadly Sins: Prisoner of the Sky.
Seven Deadly Sins: Skyward Sword. I think it's an accurate title.
No, it's not inaccurate. Do you think they should go? UT?
Yeah.
Be right back, guys.
We're gonna pause. Let the fur babies out.
Come on, babies, let's go outside.
Oh boy, this movie.
And get ready to discuss.
This movie.
If you haven't seen it and you don't want spoilers, leave now.
Or if you want to stay and just listen to us rant about how
Opinion
terrible
is
it is.
0 until Spider-Man is mentioned.
What about Spider-Man?
Opinion is 0 until Spider-Man is mentioned.
That's next.
Warning, turn down
Warning.
headphones now. I'm gonna
Good
try.
job, C-Dub.
Well, we're gonna try not to yell,
Okay.
but
So, first of all, this moron watched the movie without watching the show.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care to watch the show. I just knew that they were gonna be discussing it, so I thought, oh hey, why not? I'll watch it and what's.
Yay!
No, the Seven Deadly Sins show.
If you
is
love the show,
great.
if you love this movie, great. That's a subjectivity of art. I'm glad you love it.
The show is very good. We've reviewed the show. The show's very good.
But how bad is the movie?
The movie's a shit
The
show.
movie, it might be one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
It's so bad.
Certainly one of the worst I've seen in recent memory.
And
I
like
don't know
Matt
the
and
worst I've ever seen.
I love some of these characters.
Okay.
Shit show. Yes.
They have a slightly different opinion than I do. I am in the minority here. While I did not enjoy this movie, I did not despise this movie. Mainly because I have seen so many goddamn shonen standalone movies, all the Naruto movies, all the Bleach movies, One Piece movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a generic shonen.
That are all just non-canon throwaway adventures that have
DBZ,
absolutely no
Dragon Ball Z movies.
They have absolutely no stakes or consequences whatsoever.
Exactly. It is just a generic, average, middle of the road, played it safe shonen movie. Shonen anime movie. So the entire time I'm just going, I think the worst part of that movie for me was the mistaken identity trope, which I just fucking despise.
Oh my
God. This might be the worst that it's ever been because
they don't look alike.
Okay, I've never seen this show before and I could tell these two apart.
It's like, I
love how when blonde kid who does not have wings.
Meliodas.
Melidugas, whatever his name is. Okay, he is revealed to not have wings in front of the society of the people who have wings. You saw him earlier and he did not have a shirt on. You're being dumb on purpose.
Especially with you got rid of your wings. Who does that in 7 seconds?
I also love how he's repeatedly saying, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm not really your son, but okay. And he's just going along with it.
Oh, no, that's Meliodas as a person.
Well, Meliodas is a terrible person.
He is, yes.
He's also...
The first time I saw him, I didn't know he was the main character. I thought he was pervy side character because he was just groping somebody.
He's pervy main character.
Okay.
He's pervy, overpowered main character.
I'm gonna bring up an image of the cast here. Okay, so we have blonde dude main character.
Meliodas.
We have the talking animal sidekick.
Pop.
We have a booby lady who barely wears any clothes.
Elizabeth.
Hold on. That could be...
That's
you talking about black hair?
This one.
Merlin.
Okay, there's the lady
Elizabeth.
with the bluish green hair.
Elizabeth.
The lady who is giant for some reason.
Diane.
There's a trap.
He pointed to Gother. It's a trap.
I mean, it's not wrong.
In the words of Admiral Akbar.
It's a trap.
No, in the words of Admiral Akbar, it's a guy who is clearly supposed to be designed to look like a lady.
Anyway, moving on.
There's a discount JoJo character.
Bond.
There's a discount Akira Toriyama character. There's
King.
a man with
King.
there's a man with stupid proportions and a fine mustache.
Okay. May I hold this for a second?
Okay.
Hi, Petey. Yes, he is the Demon King's son, and Patty, no, we're not wrong. No, he's not wrong at all.
Okay, so the reason why the show is called The Seven Deadly Sins.
Why is it called The Seven Deadly Sins?
Because each one of them represents.
Because they are literally a group called the Seven Deadly Sins, and they've all been each assigned a sin. Meliodas is the dragon's sin of wrath. Because when he gets angry, let's just put it this way: the last time he got really angry, a city disappeared in a night. There was just a giant crater.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want you to guess what sin she is.
You want me to say lust, but I know that's gonna be wrong.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess.
Petey, you missed the Aquaman discussion.
You know, because I just watched Full Metal Alchemist and Lust and Gluttony had their dynamic, the sexy lady and the fat guy. I'm gonna switch it and say she's Gluttony.
You are correct.
What the
Yeah!
Because she's not gluttonous for food, she is gluttonous for knowledge. She wants to know everything as a mage.
Okay, that makes sense.
He is the lion's sin of pride. Because when he is like that...
Escanor.
Okay, also, he's like that sometimes, and sometimes he isn't.
It depends on the sun. Yeah.
When the sun is up, he is like that. When it's night, he is a scrawny little shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Okay. I've heard worse rules.
Diane.
Diane is
giant lady who is giant for some reason, and then sometimes isn't a giant.
She's an actual giant.
Okay, so she is a giant.
She's the giant.
Okay.
Merlin can cast a spell on her to turn her...
And make her small.
Make her smaller.
Okay.
Which is explained in the show.
Dayscanor.
That's funny. He is the sin of lust.
That makes so much sense.
Go there.
Also, he's not...
Because the second time you see him in the show, it's like, ooh, I'm wearing women's clothing.
Envy.
Oh yeah, she's envy. He is lust. He's also a puppet. He's not human.
Yeah, he said like I'm a doll multiple times.
Yeah.
He's a doll.
That's why when Blob Monster cast a spell on him at the end of the movie,
it didn't work.
It didn't work
because he doesn't
have.
And
he's like, I don't.
The attack attacks the nerves, which he doesn't have.
Which he doesn't have because he's a doll. Discount JoJo.
Bon
is the sin of greed. He is a thief. He literally stole the fountain of youth, so that's why he can't die.
Yep.
If you've noticed, he took a lot of punishment.
Everyone in this show took a lot of punishment.
Oh yeah.
Him more than others.
Also, everyone in this show is broken.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, how is there even a show? I want to know how there's even a show. Because the bullcrap attacks that some of these people have, there is no such thing as an obstacle for any of you.
He didn't really
My
steal
favorite
it.
scene. Or two,
no, he wanted to. That was
one of my favorite scenes that involved Booby Lady, whatever her name
Marlin,
whatever.
No, like Merlin.
Like Merlin the Magician?
Like Merlin the Magician.
That's the joke. And King Arthur's in this show too.
Okay,
yes.
so,
just an FYI.
Okay, so Booby Lady,
this is great.
She's fighting the giant lion monster at the end, and she hits him with some magic effects, and the lion goes, haha, no fire. Okay, well then, no lights.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, well then, no fire and no lights.
And Merlin's like, you dumb fuck!
No, but then it's like, okay, well then, null everything. No. She casts a spell and just goes, no.
She can cancel.
She's very,
Okay, then how do you ever fight anything ever without any kind of obstacles? This makes no sense. And Kid Icarus, whatever his name is, he's got an attack called Full Counter, where he can just counter anything.
No, it's not anything. It specifically has to be like an energy-based attack.
Okay, well then how...
which is what everybody does.
But seriously, everyone uses a projectile-based attack, and he kills everyone with it, so why do you ever even have a show? There's no reason for this.
This is fucking great.
This is so bad.
Then King is...
Also, the character designs in this show suck.
Really? I love them.
I think they're terrible. They look ugly. They look bad. Okay, I'll give them this. They're all visually distinct. But they're all distinctly crap.
And he's sloth.
Who? Discount Goku?
King.
Yeah, King of Sloth.
King Sloth.
He's also a fairy.
Okay.
Bon is the best then.
Is he?
Yes, he is.
If you say so.
Jacob is reaching Marcus level anger.
It's fantastic.
No, I'm at Jacob level anger.
In season 2, the heroes do have a tough time. The 10 Commandments. Yeah, I mean they go. He hasn't seen it, so he's just going off the movie, which the movie was a shit show.
I've only seen the movie.
The
I did
movie
not
was
watch the
not-
show. I just watched the movie because I knew
I
we
can't
were
wait to
gonna be
hear his
discussing
reaction
it.
on this. By the way, you see that little orb she has?
Yeah.
They each have a special weapon of theirs,
Okay.
which with a special ability.
Okay.
Hers, you know what hers does?
What does it do?
Any spell that she can cast lasts forever without using her without using any mana. And everybody literally in the show goes, "Okay, that's cheating."
That is cheating. That's a game shark.
Yeah.
She just has a game shark.
Yep. She
entered the code for unlimited mana and she just carries that with her everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much.
This movie sucks. I hate everything.
This movie. Also, we love this show. This movie's fucking bad.
No, yeah.
I love.
Matt and I love this show. Love this character.
Also, once again, Matt.
Just...
You could probably. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
you're fine.
Matt, you could probably answer this maybe better than Sam can. But how many shonen or Super Sentai or Toku Seinen whatever have you seen that are about let's go to an alternate world with absolutely zero stakes or consequences that have anything to do with what we're doing in the real world?
More than most.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
This is just another piece of wood for the fire.
No, Merlin is also immortal, yeah.
Okay, well that's also cheating.
Bon is immortal.
Bon is immortal.
Merlin's immortal.
Meliodas is part demon.
No, he's not part demon. He's all demon.
He's all demon, yeah.
He has... The reason why he can't die is he has 10 hearts. And the only way to kill a demon is to stab all of them.
All of them.
Well, they certainly stabbed one of them, and then they left the sword in him for 9 hours. Oh my goodness! They seriously, he gets stabbed because because the main bad guy who was played by Whis from Dragon Ball shows up. He shows up and he takes the sword and he stabs dude guy.
Oh, he plays Whis?
No, he looked like him.
Oh, okay.
So I just called him Whis.
Oh, okay.
He had similar hair.
No, that's fair.
He had similar hair. I was like, oh, it's Whis from Dragon Ball.
Also, let's talk about the fact that he's like, I hate Meliodas, but when I'm staring him straight in the face, I won't recognize him.
Yeah! Like, what?
Also, General Beard Guy didn't recognize his own son.
I still love this man who saved our entire city must die because he's a demon because prejudice?
Like, rude?
Racism. No. It's the kind of racism that exists exclusively in fantasy stories where it's just sort of tokenly there.
But means nothing.
It means nothing because it's like it's just there for the sake of being there because it's a fantasy story, and every single one has them.
Yep.
You can't. It's like I say this to myself. It's like I would like to play an RPG, whether it be a JRPG or a Western one, and go 5 minutes without somebody being obnoxiously racist against elves or dwarves.
That doesn't exist.
Or something.
But god damn. If it wasn't on Netflix.
I also want to talk about how the main villains are like kind of Wizard of Oz based until you get to the blob monster. It was like, oh, you got the lion, the Tin Man, and Dorothy, and a blob monster. What's he supposed to represent? The Scarecrow wasn't a blob monster. Were they going for ideas and just flipping through channels?
Ran out.
They got to Wizard of Oz, got to the blob, and then the power cut out and said, F it, we'll do that.
God damn, that was fun.
Oh, God. This movie sucks.
After watching this movie, I never want to hear anyone say however the fuck you say it. Has bad communication again.
Yeah.
Fies does have bad communication.
Not as bad as this.
No. God.
Because Meliodas is just like, I don't care enough to correct you.
No, he does. No, it's like he corrects them, but like under his breath. But also when they're right next to him, where you could clearly be able to hear him.
Yeah.
Also, let's not forget the whole thing with the pig and the great one or whatever.
Oh my god!
I love because when they go into like the council chambers and like and tiny grandma is saying, you've broken the rules, you son of a bitch, or whatever she says.
Just like that.
And that happens, and you like for a second, like, the camera is, like, on the ceiling for some reason, and you see what looks like big guy, and you're like, oh, well, that's gonna come into play somehow, and I know it's gonna suck. And I was totally right.
Well, for us who've seen the show, we both went, oh, that's Mama. That's not Hawk. That's Mama. And then literally...
Mama is the giant green pig.
The giant green pig that carries the boar's hat. The boar's head around.
The bar that they...
The bar.
Okay.
And then at the end, they do the whole thing of, like, she's missing a piece and she's white on the inside, and it's like, so it is Mama.
Yeah, so it was Mama the whole time.
Like, that's the only, like, decent shit I got out of this movie. Everything else was just like, ugh.
I got nothing out of this movie except anger.
And we got content out of it from you, thanks.
Oh
yeah,
my
we
goodness.
did.
This movie was awful.
Thanks for watching it, even though you have no idea what the anime is
I will say this. I kind of loved the fact that I did that. That I watched it with no context whatsoever, and I was just like yelling at the TV half the time. The other half, I was just too angry to care.
Hawk is your second favorite animal companion? Oh, you gotta watch more shows and movies with animal companions.
That's because Hawk is... I will give them this, even though this definitely takes place during or after season 2, they did get rid of the bullshit power level thing.
Oh my god.
Like Dragon Ball Z.
No, I'm not even kidding. In this picture, I can show you. See that thing on the pig's ear?
Yes.
That was given to him by Merlin, and it literally would assign people numbers that indicate their strength. They literally added power levels.
In season 2, though.
In the second season.
And we were like, why?
Just so we were like, oh look, Meliodas has a power level of 3,000, and then the 10 Commandments come, who are a bunch of demons. Like, oh my god, it's 26,000. I'm like, these numbers mean nothing.
No,
and of course
they don't mean nothing, because you have the ability to counter anything or just take anyone's shield and go no.
And of course, because Hawk
I have the power of no.
And because Hawk's annoying as fuck.
Who's Hawk?
The pig with the earring gives it to him, and he's like, "Oh, so I'm super powerful," because he misread his goddamn number.
No, he asked.
Or and he misheard it or whatever, and like believed that he was stronger than people, and it was like, no.
And then it turns out the power was in him the whole time.
No.
Also, one of my favorite things is when he gets. I don't know if I finished talking about this, but when he gets stabbed.
Oh yeah.
When blonde kid gets stabbed at the end, and they just leave him there on the ground for like an hour.
Yeah.
And just sort of let him sit there. All the while they're just like yelling at each other about like, we should kill him, you should not kill him, we should kill him, we should not kill him.
And he's laying there going,
giant monster trying to destroy things in the background.
And he's laying there bleeding to death here.
He's just laying there like
bleeding now. Oh god, that was fucking great.
It was so bad. I would almost recommend this movie because of how terrible it is. In fact, if you've never seen the show, I would recommend you watch it.
No, we're not talking about that. Fuck you. Anyway.
Maybe the true 7 deadly sins are the friends we made along the way.
Also, what did you think of the talking pig, eating shit and being able to change its form like Kirby? Did that confuse the shit out of you?
No, because at that point I was just rolling. Okay, a pig eating something and then adapting to it. I've seen Kirby before. So I can kind of accept that as a thing that exists.
Right.
But a mage is going, no.
No. It's not just the fact that she went no. It's that she dragged it on for that long. Everyone in this show has the ability to kill their opponents instantly. They're just choosing not to.
Well,
that's just annoying.
In her case, Merlin, she's kind of a sociopath. She likes to play with her food.
Yeah.
But... no, it is definitely one of those shows, and I will say this is even true with the show, where they forget just how broken they are. Mm-hmm. Though I'll give there is a demon who kicks the shit out of Meliodas in the show, because he has that full counter thing, but he does it for physical attacks instead of energy-based. So he tried to... it's a whole...
So just use energy attacks on him, man.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
This entire show is dumb. Sometimes.
And Merlin is the waifu. Yeah.
Fuck, we're not talking about waifus here.
No.
We're already talking about this movie far longer than I thought we were.
Well, Jacob had to have his.
I had to
Had a spiel, apparently.
He didn't say shit to me about it yesterday during recording.
That's amazing.
So he's been holding it.
Oh yeah, I've been holding this in all week.
It's. Oh god.
Yes, we are about to get to Spider-Verse.
Yes, we are about to get to Spider-Verse. Just give us a minute. Also, that one Attack the Seven Deadly Sins did at the end, titled Seven Deadly Sins.
Yeah.
I'm like, that was new to us too.
That was
new. That's like the shonen movie thing that's only that they get that one power in the movie.
It's like when in Kamen Rider when they get the one form in the movie, but they never use it again.
Exactly.
Or yeah, something like that.
It's just.
But then I think about that, and I think about other anime where that happens. It'd be like Ichigo from Bleach using an attack called Ichigo, or Goku going Son Goku.
So I need to see that now.
Ichigo from Bleach.
Anyway, I think we've had enough of bullshit.
Oh, good lord.
Shown in the anime. I'm fucking crying.
Well, that's what it would be. Optimus Prime. Aquaman.
Okay, let's be real. I would not put that past Jason Momoa.
Oh, I wouldn't put it past Jason Momoa, but Aquaman
to ad-lib that into a movie.
Even Aquaman wouldn't do that.
All right.
The director would be like, say something else. Unless the villain went, "Who are you?" And then he did that.
Okay, that's fair.
In response.
That's fair. That is a fair setup for that. Okay, well,
right.
Let's move on to Spider-Verse so we can be happy again.
Pause again. You should probably let the dogs in.
Do I have to?
Yes.
No.
It's cold outside.
It is cold.
We're getting a flash freezing warning tonight. Matt was struggling.
So, chat, how's it going?
Doggies! 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 Oh god, doggies. Why are you so cold?
It's cold outside.
Ruby!
Y'all.
Ow! Tail!
Hey, buddy.
I have not seen Spider-Verse, but I am open to spoilers. Perfect, because you're gonna get them.
I mean, I've been spoiling everything else up to this point.
No, this is where I sit.
Alright. I love him in the comics and this movie. Miles is a great character.
Alright.
My introduction to Miles Morales was Spider-Man on PS4. I'd heard the name before, but I didn't know. But
you've never seen him
really
portrayed.
know who he was. That game made me care about Miles Morales.
That's fair.
In the context of that game,
Ow!
I wasn't familiar with this version, because this version is for this movie.
Uh-huh.
But this movie is the best Spider-Man movie ever made, and it's one of the best comic book movies ever made. I thought Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was a freaking masterpiece. It was a masterpiece of comic book movies. It was a masterpiece of a movie. This is the first time since I think the Lego movie that a studio finally took 3D animation and said, let's do something with it.
Oh, no.
Let's take animation and push the boundaries of what you can do with an animated film. And it just is so good. Oh, boy.
No, the style of this movie, the visuals of this movie
the
are
soundtrack, the everything.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
The characters of this movie are so fun, so memorable.
They're so fleshed out.
So well casted.
This is Nicolas Cage's greatest role in years.
John Mulaney was also fantastic.
John Mulaney as Spider-Man.
This is his first movie.
Yeah.
First movie, and here he is.
It's a role that's perfect for him.
Yeah.
So good. Love a bit of Post Malone.
Yeah. Okay, so.
I actually really liked his song.
No, yeah.
I've never listened to a single Post Malone song, but
Yeah.
the song he did with Sway Lee, who I also had never heard of before this, I thought it was a really good song.
Well, it's also, I loved this plot. I also adored the fact that when Miles met Peter and he took the mask off, literally my first thought was, why is he blonde? And then that is brought up later and I'm like, vindicated!
Also, that was Chris Pine.
Yeah.
Apparently!
Yeah.
was Chris
When the
Pine.
credits rolled, I was like, that's fucking Chris Pine!
Yep.
Felt passed the torch
to
me.
Miles in a way.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel, if I recall correctly, and I apologize if I'm wrong, that is the story of Miles Morales comics. Peter Parker has died.
Yeah, Peter died, and so something like he died. He took over as Spider-Man, something like that. And I love this movie so much. I love this movie. I love the story. I love Kingpin. I love Liev Schreiber's Kingpin.
I loved the goddamn design. He's literally just square.
A square.
Yeah, I loved it.
No, I love a car pulled out, and he's being shown walking away from the car, and she literally leaned over me and went, "How did he fit?"
Like, how did he fit in the car?
I also love Liev Schreiber as Kingpin. The first time you see him, he's like, "Oh, he has a freaking light show. You're gonna love it." I was like, "Oh,
I love
that's
the
great."
accent.
Yeah.
I'm so used
You're so used to Vanessa.
Yeah, I'm so
Oh my god, yeah.
But he is a good Kingpin.
No, he's good in his own right.
But this was a comic book of Kingpin.
Yes.
That was just fantastic.
I remember, and speaking of voice casting, Jake Johnson as Peter B. Parker. I remember seeing that. I was not all that interested in this movie from the trailers.
Jake Johnson, he was
in Jurassic World.
He's in Sunny, isn't he?
He's in New Girl.
Yeah, he's in New Girl.
I thought it was
Charlie Day is in Sunny.
That's it. Hey, sorry, Peter. I forgot Peter B. Parker.
Yeah.
Jake Johnson plays the girls. They end up getting married.
No, I don't know who he is.
But
no, he was fantastic.
I remember hearing him in the trailers and being like, I don't like that casting.
And then the movie was.
But then I got context for the character.
Mm-hmm.
For this particular Spider-Man, he's perfect.
Oh yeah.
The older
schlubby. I love that he was just a schlub at this point.
Everyone was like, he's fat.
I love that everybody made comments about his weight, and
I also love how everyone can just guess. Oh, you're a Peter from another dimension.
Okay.
Well, I mean, Aunt May is able to tell because she knows what her nephew looks like.
Yeah.
She's raised him since he was a kid.
Yeah.
Also, he was blonde.
Also, he was blonde. Also, she's familiar with shenanigans up to this point.
Yeah.
So it's
the Spider Cave.
Also, I love this version of Dr. Octopus.
Oh God, that was such a.
Voiced by Catherine Hahn, who I
was not expecting that. I was not expecting that for her to be.
I just one of my favorite parts with her was it's like, do your friends call you Doc Ock? No, my friends call me Liv. My enemies call me Doc Ock. But then they have the greatest callback when she and some of the other villains are attacking Aunt May's house. She busts the door in and Aunt May goes, "Oh great, it's Liv."
Yeah.
I thought that was so great.
Yeah.
And I loved Lily Tomlin as Aunt May.
I'm not gonna lie.
She was great.
I'm not gonna. How familiar are you with primarily like the '90s animated series of Spider-Man?
Not very.
Okay, then this mainly be for you guys. I legit shat myself when she was
revealed to be Doc Ock.
That was kind of
six villains in this movie, right?
Here's a Kingpin, Doc Ock, Tombstone, Green Goblin,
Prowler,
Scorpion, and
I think that's it.
Yeah, that's 6.
6, and because so many of them were given the back burner, you did not have to focus on them as much. It worked.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to say, "Oh, this movie sucked because it had too many villains," you're not allowed to make that excuse anymore.
Okay.
You were never allowed to make it, period. It's like I said earlier, it's all about execution, but this movie has a lot of villains. Also,
I loved the scene when Peter B. Parker escapes from Miles, like in the beginning, and they're walking, and he's just walking down the wall.
Yeah.
I'm like, my thought is, I've been wondering if Spider-Man can do that for like a decade.
And he's just like,
you know one of the greatest things about that scene
is Miles is just freaking out.
It's just a conversation between two people.
Yeah.
It could have just been the two of them in the room just sitting and talking, but no, they made it visually interesting.
And to who they were as people.
Everything about this movie, they do that with everything. Like the conversation, well, not conversation, but when Officer Davis is talking to Miles through the door.
This is the Sinister Six. There you go.
Okay. But when Officer Davis is talking to Miles through the door.
Yeah.
Oh god, it's so good.
That was just a scene.
So good.
Yeah.
Also, after playing Spider-Man for the PS4, can we all just be glad that Officer Davis lives through this movie?
Oh yeah, absolutely. was worried he was going to.
No, but then the uncle died instead because apparently if you're Spider-Man, your uncle has to die.
Played by Academy Award winner Mahershala Ali, who was fantastic.
He was fantastic. But again, if you are a Spider-Man, your uncle is fucked.
Unless you're Penny
Patty?
Parker,
Or
because it was
Gwen.
her dad, or Gwen. It was Spider-Man.
Peter. It was Peter.
Yeah.
A lot of dead Peter Parkers in this. I forgot, I lost my train of thought. Before we watched this movie, I kept seeing scenes for it on YouTube, and they showed Aunt May in the thumbnail, but it was never a spoilery title. So it's just like, like scene from Spider-Verse. And I always avoided it. But with Aunt May's design, and there was a bunch of, she was in the spider cave, so it was a bunch of web design.
You thought it was Madam Web.
Yep, exactly. I thought it was Madam Web. Madam Web is an extra dimensional being who can actually summon any of the Spider-Man that she wants.
Oh.
She's like the watcher of all the Spider-Men.
Ah.
Which is what I thought would make sense in this movie because. So I thought that would, but he didn't have it. It wasn't necessary. One design thing I noticed and adored.
What's that? When
Miles got his suit, you could see the rough edges of the spray paint. You could see the dots. That was such an attention to detail that I adored it. And it was so him.
Miles Morales' dad will be me when I become a dad.
Aww.
I know, you gotta say I love you too. Come on, say it. I love you, Dad. I love you.
That's a copy.
I loved that moment in the trailer.
And everyone, he's walking down the hallway and they're like, I love you, Miles.
I mean, they put in the quote, I love you, officer.
Oh, God. Was there any, was your favorite part of the movie the moment where he jumps off the building and it goes upside down?
Honestly, my favorite movie might have been Spider-Man Noir's introduction. Wherever I go, the wind follows.
Yeah.
The wind smells like
why is the wind
rain.
here?
Why is he black and white? Or he's laying on the couch staring at the Rubik's Cube. Is this purple? No.
Is
it blue?
No.
One of my favorite lines was, I like to drink egg creams and fight Nazis a lot. He has so many great lines and he plays it so well. And
I'm gonna take this.
2018, it's the year that Nicolas Cage played Superman and Spider-Man in the same year.
Yep.
And God bless us for it.
Wow.
He was the voice of Superman in Teen Titans Go to the Movies.
Alright.
He finally got to play Superman after all these years.
I'm gonna take this cube with me. But I don't understand.
I don't know what it is, but I'm taking it. Nicolas Cage was so great. And
they were all fantastic.
Did you know Penny Parker was originally supposed to die?
Really?
Scorpion was supposed to kill her in that scene.
But instead they killed the robot.
They killed the robot,
Instead they kill the robot and she gets away, and in an amazing scene where we get to see Spider-Ham beat the crap out of Scorpion.
Yes!
What's the matter with cartoons? I also love how John Mulaney kept swearing when he was improvising.
Yeah.
And they had to ask him to tone it down.
Well, have you watched John Mulaney stand up?
I have.
Yeah, and you can understand.
I know.
Spider-Gwen has one of the best suits ever. Yes.
No,
Design-wise, I loved everyone in this movie.
That suit was great. Nice haircut. You're not allowed to like my haircut.
Oh,
fair.
I'm allowed to like your haircut.
See, you have money, right? I'm not exactly liquid right now.
Oh god.
I also want to talk about how Miles and Gwen have such amazing chemistry.
Yep.
And they said for the sequel, I think it is going to get a sequel.
It fucking better.
Because they're talking about wanting to get.
Can you look it up how much money it's made right now?
I actually have it pulled up.
Thank you.
So they said for the sequel they want to focus on a romance between Miles and Gwen.
That'd be cool.
I'm for that all day, every day.
Yeah.
I will watch a whole movie of them just getting coffee together. The whole movie could be just them going on a date, just sitting at a table talking.
Spider-Man in cars getting coffee.
Spider-Man in cars getting coffee.
Spider-Man on Thwips getting coffee.
Also, did you see the spider car? The Spider-Mobile?
I did not.
It was on a platform when they're going down the elevator into the cave.
Okay.
The Spider-Mobile show was there.
Right.
And I died.
I did notice the PS4 suit. The Spider-Man PS4 suit is
every
in there.
suit on that wall is a wearable suit in Spider-Man for the PS4.
Yeah, that's true.
I loved that.
But the one that really caught my eye was the PS4 suit. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, hey!
I loved that.
That's cool. Okay, so this movie has made $322 million worldwide on a $90 million budget, so...
Wow, this cost less than $100 million to make.
Yeah, so at this point, it's broken even, and it's going to make a little bit of money. it's probably not the numbers they were hoping for, so I really hope this does get a sequel because, my God, it was so good.
Everybody has raved about it.
It won the Golden Globe for him.
Golden Globes are garbage.
Oh.
You can't
Oscars
use that as any kind of a measuring stick.
How about Oscar?
Oscar, yes. An Annie Award, probably. Like PGA, yes. But here's the thing. Here's what the Golden Globes are for anyone who doesn't know.
Bumblebee died so this movie could live.
Actually,
because Bumblebee didn't make that much money.
Yeah. Was the promo for Spider-Verse. Well, God.
But getting back to the Golden Globes, okay, so that's the Hollywood Foreign Press Awards. What that means is like 40-something journalists who work for foreign press outlets but happen to live in Los Angeles. That's who gives out those awards.
Oh.
It's worthless.
Okay.
It gets a lot of prestige because they put on a good show, but as far as a measuring stick for excellence, they're pretty much worthless.
So what would you say your favorite part of the movie was? I didn't ask this for Aquaman, but you adore this movie so much, I have to ask.
I mean, can I give a favorite part for Aquaman while I'm here?
Sure.
Okay. Aquaman, favorite part of Aquaman. It was probably the final battle.
Yeah, that's
probably
fair.
the final battle for me.
That's fair. But Spider-Man.
Oh man, it's harder for this one.
Fair. I have a favorite moment in terms of like...
it might be the scene where Miles sends Peter B. Parker back to his dimension. Where he's like, where he feels like he's such a screw up that he wants to stay behind and die, but he's like, nope, you're going back, you're gonna live, and you're gonna make things right. And he's like, well, how am I gonna know I'm not gonna screw it up again?
You're not.
You're not. You won't. Because that's a callback to earlier when it's like, how will I know when I'm ready? You won't.
Yeah.
It's a leap of, and he did the same move. He did the sweep leg, grabbed him, and went bye.
Yep.
Okay.
And I love the ending because we see him go to visit Mary Jane, and it looks like they're gonna try and patch things up.
Okay.
And just
I think the funniest moment of the movie though is during the final battle when Doc Ock is rushing at Peter B, Miles, and Gwen, and she gets hit by a truck. And Peter just goes.
And Peter's just like, because you know damn well under the mask. That's the face he was making. Just
died.
No, we were in a theater that had like small kids in it, and
I couldn't
you
help
could
myself.
hear a pin drop, and Matt just went shit, and I was like, Matt.
I was in the theater with one other person, and when that happened, both of us died.
Wow.
Both of us just laughed insanely hard.
God.
And then
The best scene was the end credit scene. You stop pointing at me! Stop pointing at me!
You're accusing me of pointing.
Yeah.
Okay, do you know who voiced Spider-Man? That 2099 Spider-Man?
No.
That was Oscar Isaac.
Wow.
That was Oscar Isaac.
How many big names did they get for this movie?
I
A
just
lot of people. And
love.
also, J. Jonah Jameson in that scene? That was Stan Lee.
Ow.
Oh, yeah. I want to talk about Stan Lee's
It'll
cameo.
fit eventually.
I want to talk about Stan Lee's cameo
Yeah,
and
it'll
how
fit eventually.
it made me...
Oh.
It put the biggest smile on my face.
Let's-
I don't get sad when I think about Stan Lee. I mean, like, am I sad that he's gone?
Someone
Yes.
asked who Oscar Isaac was.
Oscar Isaac, he's an actor. He was in The Force Awakens. He's Poe Dameron in the new Star Wars movies. He was in Annihilation, Ex Machina.
He was didn't he play Apocalypse and?
Yeah, he was Apocalypse in X-Men Apocalypse.
Yeah, Poe did. So that's funny. I also love that was the end credit scene was getting Miguel O'Hara's parents.
And they integrated one of the famous 60s Spider-Man memes.
Yeah.
But Stan Lee,
so
but
good.
getting back to Stan Lee, yeah, I don't really feel sad when I see Stan Lee. It's more like an aw, like yay.
Yeah.
Because am I sad that he's gone? Yes, but he lived to be he was 95 when he passed away. He left behind such an incredible legacy.
He did so much.
He lived a very long, full life. So when I see him, it's like, oh. But you know, when he shows up, it's like I'm gonna miss him. He and I were friends, you know.
Yeah, it's like
It's like, well, what if it doesn't fit? It always fits. Eventually. And then the sign next to him, no returns.
No returns,
ever.
Yeah.
That was great.
That was funny.
That was great. Another moment that I absolutely loved, or scene that I absolutely loved, was the one where Peter B. Parker, where they're at the banquet, and he runs into Mary Jane.
Yeah,
and she asks him for bread. Bread. Yes,
bread.
I'm gonna get you bread because you deserve so much bread. And
then Gwen's just like,
hey
God.
man, are you alright? Yeah, good, because we're not getting bread.
Like, come on.
Good, because we're not. I just love the way they ended.
Gwen was fantastic.
Gwen was fantastic.
So
Haley Steinfeld, she had 2 movies that back-to-back week. Because she was in Bumblebee.
Really? Ah.
Yeah, she's the lead in Bumblebee, and then she was in this.
Both
Both of which were in the 90s on Rotten Tomatoes, and everyone seems to like her, and so all the props to her.
Guys.
Lincoln.
Also, I just loved all the. Let's start from the beginning, X-Men, because there's so many.
That happens. I like.
For the last time.
I love the. So we do the dancing. We don't really talk about that much. The dancing.
The fact that Peter, it pretty much
reference.
confirmed that Peter B. Parker is the Sam Raimi.
No, because there's like a mix of stuff.
Yeah, they reference.
He's an amalgamation of like MCU
bunch,
and Sam Raimi.
But I love that they mentioned the dancing
they mentioned
part.
the dancing.
And they also referenced the stopping the train bit where he's in the front doing
and the upside down kiss and the variation of the pulling the ferry together.
And the variation of the at the dinner party at the dinner where the car comes in, except he just
in Spider-Man
punches
2,
it.
yeah.
So it was just really cool. Hold on.
It's okay. It's all right.
Hey.
They're trying to play right now. Ruby's gonna steal a seat.
And by that they mean eat each other.
You need to chill. And you need to get on the seat.
Come on, pretty girl.
Thank you. The dancing thing.
Yes. The dancing thing was good.
Oh god. So, is there anything else we wanted to talk about with Spider-Verse?
It was good. Go see it. We literally watched it yesterday.
Lincoln!
I know a lot of people who watch this movie multiple times.
It had an
because they
amazing
were like,
soundtrack.
and honestly, this...
The credits song. Why am I still singing this stupid song? It's just...
Stop!
Ruby's losing her mind.
Ruby's gone psycho.
Okay, sorry about that.
Honestly, and a lot of people watch this movie multiple times, and I think you need to. There is so much shit that I think we missed out on, because, like, the only thing that I was kind of like... it was some of the lines go by so fast.
And it's during really loud moments.
And I'm like, what? What'd you say? I couldn't hear any of it. But I think if rewatching it would help, because I was not prepared for like such a
that's honestly Spider-Man.
It is.
Always with the quips.
But it went so fast.
Whip and pull. Whip and pull.
No, also the bit. There's good news. What? We don't need the monitor.
Selecting bagel.
Also, then you hear what the...
No, and then he's like, they took a bagel!
Well, someone's like, they stole a bagel!
Oh, I didn't hear that line.
Yeah, one of the fucking lab guys went, they stole a bagel! Like, that was worse.
It's like they counted out, like, alright, there's 29 bagels here. No, there's one missing.
Also, be cool and just walk. No! What the fucking world is that gonna work?
He can shoot electricity out of his eyes. Go ahead, do it. I can't do it on command. He can't do it on command.
Alright, be invisible. Alright? He can't do
it on command, but he can do other things. What else can he do? I can't do anything else. He can't do anything else.
Those 2 things.
But
those
he can do
2 things.
So
I want
great.
to watch it already.
I do too. I want this movie to hurry up and get released.
Yeah.
On Blu-ray so I can watch it.
Oh god, this movie was great.
It's so good. It was so good.
How would you rank? You've just seen it yesterday, but do you think you have an idea of where you'd rank your Spider-Man movies?
Ooh.
Or at least the ones you've seen thus far.
So all the Sam Raimi ones, the Andrew Garfield ones,
and the one Tom Holland one.
And the one Tom Holland one so far.
It's honestly my favorite out of them thus far, because it was just there was so many. It was so visually stunning and so many entertaining moments. Not hurts to say because I love Tom Holland.
I think Tom Holland's movie is a very, very close second.
Yeah.
This was just so different that it makes it stand out.
Also, can we talk when we're done? Can we talk about something else as well with this discussion?
Sure.
Because it's involving Spider-Man.
Okay.
And just for anyone who was gonna watch last week's before we postponed it, we're not gonna discuss Young Justice this time. We're just gonna
We're behind.
We're behind. We're gonna wait till the end of the season and then we'll talk about it.
Did Spider-Man get a movie? No, not yet.
No, he wasn't in this. I didn't see him.
No, he wasn't.
He might have been in the because when you see
the credit scene,
the dimensions with all the spider things, he might have been there somewhere.
I wasn't paying enough attention during that.
I wonder if he'll show up in the sequel. Because that'd be funny.
I heard something about him being like in the sequel, or like there are talks of using him in the sequel, or something. I don't know.
The only thing definitive I know is they want to focus on the Miles Gwen romance.
Fair enough.
Which again, I am here for.
100%. They were so fucking cute.
Oh, we got a ranking. I want to see this.
Spider-Verse, Homecoming, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 1, Amazing Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3.
Okay.
I actually completely agree with that listing.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Spider-Man 2 was great. Spider-Man 1 was okay. Well, I might actually put Amazing Spider-Man over Spider-Man 1. Because I did enjoy Andrew Garfield's first Spider-Man.
Was there an American flag?
No, there was not an American flag.
In Spider-Verse?
No. I don't know if there was that one flag he crashed into when he tried to jump off a building.
But that wasn't an American flag. That was like a hotel flag.
Okay.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you call, I have to ask, did you call the uncle being Prowler?
I try to turn my brain off for things like that.
That's fair.
I let movies surprise me.
Matt doesn't. He has to call it immediately.
Yeah.
I didn't call it immediately.
I do.
No.
Here's the thing. I usually only find I call something if I'm not really interested in what's going on.
That's fair. I didn't call it until Miles was in the empty apartment and Prowler showed up. Like, why is he there? Oh, it's probably the uncle.
Yeah. And then they were like, well, he's been gone for a few days.
That was a good scene, though.
No, it was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
But I had my suspicions, like, I'm going out of town for a few days. Oh, you're into something shady.
Well, I already knew he was into something
actually,
shady.
if this movie makes a certain amount of money, Toby Spider-Man will be used for the sequel.
Apparently. I would love to see that because giant Spider-Man robot. But...
I would rank the Spider-Man movies.
Oh, cool. Did not know that.
What?
He's the uncle in the comics, too.
Yeah.
So, that's not something they did specifically for the movie. Because, once again, if you're a Spider-Man, your uncle is fucked.
Unless you're Penny. Or Gwen.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know if they have uncles.
Who knows? They may have
they
fucked
could
up uncles, just not...
They could not.
It was my Uncle Ben. For me, it was my Uncle Benjamin.
For me, it was my Uncle Benjamin.
I love his Nicolas Cage impression. Okay.
Alright, so I think...
I want to rank my Spider-Man movies.
Okay, go.
Okay. Spider-Verse is number 1.
No.
2? I'm probably going to say Raimi's first Spider-Man movie.
Okay.
Then I'm going to say Spider-Man 2. Then Spider-Man 3. Then Homecoming. Then Amazing Spider-Man. Then Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Homecoming so low.
I didn't like Homecoming that much.
Oh.
Homecoming was not that good.
I love it.
And I thought Amazing Spider-Man movies are freaking terrible.
Well, yes.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
To each their own.
Funny part, Prowler did die in the comics.
I'm not surprised. I personally like the Spider-Verse, Homecoming, Andrew Garfield movies, Sam Raimi. To each their own. That's the thing. We're all getting very different lists.
No, stop licking his ear.
In terms of actors who have portrayed Spider-Man, I would still put Tom Holland at the top.
Yep.
For me. And I'm talking straight Peter Parker.
Yeah.
So, because Miles Morales is a category of his own. Also, by the way, the Miles Morales and the DLC for PS4 Spider-Man is fantastic. Because you get these conversations with him and Peter as Peter's trying to be a mentor, as a Spider mentor. And the best part is that Miles is like, we're training, like, I gave you an assignment. You gave me math homework. How is this Spider-Man training? And he asks him, like, a question of, if a pendulum is swinging at this velocity, at this angle, where is it going to stop? And he answers it right. And he goes, but what does that matter? And he goes, it matters when you're the pendulum. And he goes, Oh! I'm like, wax on, wax off, motherfucker. That was just a fantastic.
Whip on, whip off.
Whip and swing. Whip and swing.
Whip and pull.
Whip and pull. So it's so great. But the other thing I wanted to talk about while we're here, while we're talking about Spider-Man.
Spider-Man is the Far From Home trailer,
yes,
I guess.
The Far From Home trailer. That looks so good. I am looking forward to this. I do not think they should have released it yet.
Why not?
Because everyone's pretty much saying this takes place after Endgame, which kind of spoils Endgame.
No, it doesn't. Does it? Okay, we've known for years now that Spider-Man Homecoming 2, now called Far From Home, was going to come out after Avengers 4, now called Endgame. We've known this for years.
But we did not know it was going to take place chronologically after Avengers 4.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. Some people are pissed.
Well, some people... Oh well.
Because then...
That's all I can really say is oh well.
Well, because then during that moment, I know that it's a superhero movie, the good guys always win, but when you have that...
No, they don't. They didn't win an Infinity War.
But when you have that confirmation going into the movie, people would feel like, what's the point? Because you know how it ends.
What's the point? Because what happens to everyone else? Yeah. What happens to Thanos? What happens to Captain America? What happens to Iron Man? What happens to the people to everyone else who got dusted? Does somebody get dusted and then get killed again? We don't know.
So,
the main problem people had with Homecoming is that Spider-Man was mini Iron Man. I didn't have that problem.
No, some people did. Some people
did,
certainly did. I just didn't like Homecoming that much, so I didn't really care. But I can understand why some people would have that problem. They want Spider-Man to stand out on his own and not have to play sidekick to Iron Man.
Yeah.
Though I will give them props. I'll give them props for that scene that was in like the Homecoming trailer of Spider-Man and Iron Man like swinging and flying together.
That was just in that was only made for the trailer.
Yeah, that wasn't
not
in the movie.
movie.
I'm glad it wasn't in the movie. That's what I'm saying.
No.
Like they use that as like a grab, but then like no, this is a Spider-Man movie. But I like how this is. It looks like this will not include Tony Stark. Whether or not he's alive, that's up for debate.
Well, that's the thing. We don't know if he's still around.
So
we do see that because in Homecoming they move out of Stark Tower.
Yeah. And
now it's being refurbished into something else.
I do like the very first scene with Hoagie and Aunt May, and he's just.
Yeah.
What just happened?
I also like how Aunt May is cool with him being Spider-Man.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that transition.
After the ending of Homecoming.
That's gonna be amazing.
I can't wait to see that transition.
That's gonna be so good.
So let me ask you this: what did you think of the trailer?
It was alright.
I think
it didn't really do anything for me because I don't care that much.
See,
I'm really, really I am extremely excited for Endgame. See, I'm excited for Endgame. Everything else, I just don't really care.
I think this is my bias showing because Spider-Man is my favorite Marvel hero.
Okay.
So I'm much more excited about a Spider-Man movie than I am about Endgame.
Let me put it this way: I really love Tom Holland as Spider-Man.
Okay.
I love him as Spider-Man. I think he's fantastic. The Jacob Batalon who plays his friend Noah, I think he's great.
Yes.
We got Nick Fury in here, so we know he's coming back.
That was great.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Can we just leave him that? You might want to turn him over so he doesn't swallow his tongue. Yeah, that was kind of my problem.
So he's back. I tell you, the thing that has me most excited is Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio.
I was about to ask you that. What do you think about Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio? What do you think of what you've seen thus far?
From what I've seen, I think they're going for a syndrome angle with him.
That's what everyone's saying.
Where he's the one. Well, because for those that know Mysterio, they know he's one of Spider-Man's villains, and since we see him fighting these big monsters, they're assuming he is the one. He's a master of special effects. He's the one creating them, and as a result, foiling his own crimes, as it were.
Yeah.
I'm mainly just excited because it's Jake Gyllenhaal, and I think he's a great actor.
Oh no, yeah,
and
didn't you tell me that this is the movie he signed up for and turned down to play?
He turned down Batman. That's true.
For this,
because
holy shit.
Yeah, because Matt Reeves, his first choice to be Batman for his new set of movies that he's got going for DC was Jake Gyllenhaal. They met, they talked about it. He said no, and he chose to do this instead. And I think one of the reasons is he doesn't want to do a long-term commitment.
Valid.
It's the same. It's like a Joaquin Phoenix situation. What he went through with Doctor Strange, Because he was this close to playing Doctor Strange, Joaquin Phoenix was.
Oh wow.
But but he didn't want to do multiple movies.
Right.
He just wanted to do. That's why they got him for the Joker movie that's coming out this year, because it's just a one and done thing.
No, that's fair.
So I think that's one of the reasons Gyllenhaal said. That's one of the reasons that Gyllenhaal said yes to Mysterio.
Because it's most likely going to be a
one and done.
And also, I think he's a phenomenal actor. He's one of the best actors working today. He's absolutely fantastic. So
I'm just glad we got to see the fishbowl.
I was gonna say they went for fishbowl helmet.
They did go for fishbowl.
You can't do Mysterio and not do the fishbowl.
No, you can. It's just they chose to.
You were gonna piss off a lot of people if they.
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't have pissed off anybody.
Everybody.
You would have pissed off 1% of the people who would have bought a ticket for this movie. The rest of them don't even know who Mysterio is.
Okay, I'll give him that.
A lot of people who did know were like, "Oh God, I hope they do the fishbowl."
Yeah. But
would they really have boycotted the movie if he didn't?
Absolutely not.
I didn't say they boycotted. I just said they would have been pissed.
Yeah, and then they would have sulked all the way to the theater.
Yeah.
And they still
Absolutely. Yeah.
I love the fucking bit at the end. It's like, what? It's like, what is with you and Spider-Man? I think he's really cool. He looks out for the neighborhood. He's got a dope suit. Oh, what's up, dickwad? He's looking at Peter, and I'm like, yeah.
Yay.
Even though Spider-Man stole and trashed his car in the last movie.
He had it coming.
True.
He did have it coming. He deserved it.
But I thought this trailer was really good. But I love the whole... What just happened? Also, the new suits look good.
Yeah, the black and red one.
The black and red one, and then the all black one. You don't remember that one? It showed up like a fraction of a second.
That's probably why I don't remember it.
Yeah. His suit though is
it's
fire.
fire. Yeah.
But I'm gonna look it up.
MCU Aunt May is the best Aunt May.
I think Spider-Verse Aunt May is the best Aunt May, but...
Well, yeah, she a fucking badass.
I'm sorry, I have to give it up to PS4 Aunt May because R.I.P. and...
Aw, sad.
I'm sorry, you played... Did you play the whole story when you borrowed it from me?
Yeah, 100%ed it.
Okay, I forgot. That bit when she's like, let me look at my nephew, I'm like, oh!
She knew.
The heart!
She knew.
Attack the heart game! You attacked it hard. Oh god, that was so hard to watch.
It reminds me of Superior Spider-Man.
Superior Spider-Man. Ignore me.
He's looking.
Chat said anything else lately?
Not really.
I think I went past it. Fuck. Anyway, ignore me. Y'all talk. Discuss them.
When Doc Ock took over his body.
Okay. I've seen jokes on that. I'm glad the fucking wings are still around.
You could hear the dogs licking. Stop licking his ear.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like some stealth suit.
Okay.
Yeah. Which S.H.I.E.L.D. absolutely gave him that.
Yeah, attack the heart for maximum feels. That's exactly what they do.
I do like this Aunt May though. She is really cool.
I like her, yes.
Yeah. So we are excited for that.
Good actress. Good movie.
I'm excited for Endgame. I'm on the fence for Captain Marvel.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Shazam.
Oh yes.
But I think
C-Dub, I don't know how long you were gone, so you probably
missed a lot.
Spider-Verse. You missed us talking about the new Spider-Man movie trailer. You missed dogs as usual. But I think
you stabbed the heart, didn't you?
Fuck you.
We may get the X-Men and Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah,
we're eventually, because they're owned by Disney now.
Yeah.
And I've been hearing, I don't know if these are rumors or what, about a Wolverine cameo in Endgame.
It ain't gonna happen.
Okay.
You will not see any X-Men or Fantastic Four related anything in the MCU until maybe like 3 or 4 years from now.
Ooh.
Why? Because they still have like contract stuff to do.
Keep in mind the company was like the actual transaction, like the official "we're buying them" announcement happened last year. Okay, it's not like buying a candy bar. This is what a lot of people are confused on. there are armies of lawyers on both sides going over contracts this thick and making sure that every I is dotted, every T is crossed. And as soon as that's, because I think we'll know, because the deal might not even go through. Because the federal government still has to approve it.
Oh yeah, because that's
if the federal government sues and says no, this ain't gonna happen, then guess what? No, then it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So it's they have to approve it, and also other governments from around the world have to approve it as well because they're big multinational corporations.
Mm-hmm.
So in a couple of years, I don't know how many years exactly, but in a couple of years, that's when we'll start to hear about them being integrated.
That'd be an interesting time.
Because here's the thing: if Wolverine were to cameo in Avengers 4, that could be seen as collusion on the part of Fox and Disney. Like this was all set up from the beginning, and it was because if you remember, it was Comcast was also bidding for it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Comcast
shit,
can look at that and say, "Oh, they were planning this from the start.
Forever, yeah.
They were in cahoots with each other. This is collusion," and boom, deal's gone.
Oh shit!
So
I didn't even think about that.
So that's something that can happen.
But I think that about wraps up our discussion. What do you think, babe?
Yeah, I think so.
Any other final thoughts? Go see Spider-Verse.
Go see Spider-Verse. Go see Aquaman.
No, watch that
the
movie.
7 Deadly Sins movie with fire.
Or watch it and
drink
and yell. Drink every time 5 minutes go by. There you go.
Drink every time someone goes,
every time you do that at the screen if you've never seen the show.
Or that, yeah.
Every time you go, why is the giant girl now not giant?
Anytime you have a question.
Oh god. Anyway, we have no idea what we're discussing next.
The kiss was redone for the Far From Home poster. Okay.
What?
I don't know.
Okay. We have no idea what we're discussing next because we don't know what we're watching next at this point. These are going to be kind of...
Might be Punisher Season 2 since that came out.
Yeah. Might be...
But follow us on Twitter so you know.
Mm-hmm.
Drink every time Merlin pulls some bullshit.
That's the entire final fight scene.
It's mostly the end.
Yeah, you'll be dead by the end of it. Yeah.
But as always, we really appreciate everybody who showed up. Especially to all the new people who are there.
Yeah.
And
if you like what you saw,
follow
on Twitter so you can know what we're watching and you can make sure to watch it too, and then you can join in the discussion.
We really appreciate this. This went really well. I'm glad.
Yes, they did redo the upside down Raimi kiss.
Oh, okay.
That's what he was talking about.
As always, guys, we will see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.